Man, that was ugly. Welcome everyone to the More Than Philly Sports Talk Show. It's great to be here with all of you. We have an exciting show in store for you. It's 10:30 here on the East Coast, and as always, joined alongside my co-host Gavin Tony. Gavin, I do have to say just quickly before we get into it, we went a whole day without debating any specific players in basketball. So props to us because we got too much stuff in the NFL to cover, and I hope for that to continue today. But we are going to have some more of that exciting stuff coming up later in the week and possibly next week as well as we get more shows going. But as always, how are you doing today?
Well, Zach, I'm doing great, and Zach, I gotta say before I continue, you know what, Zach, you're not slick. Yesterday on my YOLO, I knew it was you that said LeBron James is the GOAT, and also about the Lakers would beat the Bulls. So technically, you tried to debate with me. I ignored it, but all in all,
those are anonymous. Hold on a minute. I thought those were
no,
anonymous.
it was not. Listen,
You know what the
listen,
problem
sir.
is? I did them.
Listen,
The
sir.
problem is I did them
Listen, sir.
back to back. I should have waited like 5 or 6 minutes between them. I was
Listen,
gonna
sir.
write a third one. And I thought it'd be too suspicious. But
Listen,
I'm
ladies and
glad you know
gentlemen.
that. I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know who wrote that, despite the fact that it's anonymous.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know whoever sends that message about I think I like you, why don't you check your story real quick to see if whoever is the last two people are the ones that viewed it. So I was able to check that out. So Zach,
Well, thanks for the hack. I guess I'll have to find a way around it next time. I'll say it to your face. I don't care. I don't need to be anonymous about it. Everybody knows our thoughts on it.
But anyway, Zach, I'm good. And going back to last night's game, I gotta clear my throat for this one. How about them Cowboys? They did it again, Zach. And this proves that they're gonna need Dak Prescott. But Zach, I'm ecstatic besides last night. How about you?
Just happy to be here. The World Series starts tonight, and what a time to be a Tampa Bay fan. I was reading last night the Tom Brady effect when he was in San Francisco and he grew up there. The Niners won all 5 of their Super Bowls. When he went to Michigan, the Detroit Red Wings won 2 Stanley Cups. When he went to New England, we know what happened there. 6 Super Bowl championships, an abundance of titles for not only the Boston Celtics, but the Boston Bruins. And now he's in Tampa, and you already have the Stanley Cup victory of the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Buccaneers, of course, at his helm are looking good. And the Tampa Bay Rays are in the World Series. So,
Not impressed, sir.
interesting. I mean, that's just an interesting thing to point out. He's nothing but winner wherever he goes.
That's major false, and here's why. And this is why I believe this. The Tom Brady effect, all right, whatever. It's coincidence. He's just there when it happens. Zach, we were here when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I don't think we're going to see one.
Well, Tom Brady was at that game technically, so I guess it works out.
Okay, buddy. But listen, you talk about a great time to be a Tampa, live in Tampa. How about, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, how about to live in LA?
How about that? I know, right?
How about to live in LA? If you're a Kobe Bryant fan, what a time to be alive. If you are a Dodgers fan, they're going to disappoint you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this before we go. Zach, you know what Stephen A. always says. What can go wrong will go wrong, right? I think we can leave with that with the Dallas. Not with it. Well, we knew with Dallas, but maybe the Dodgers too.
Maybe. We don't know. We have seen an epic amount of comebacks this year from being down 3-1. I do have to point that out. I think the bubbles do have a factor on that without having to travel as much and hitting your strides. But we'll point that out later. But no, yes, tonight, Dodgers Rays game 1. We'll get to that in a little bit. But with that being said, let's get started with it, Gavin. Besides the Tom Brady effect. So Monday Night Football, 2 games happened last night. One was technically Thursday Night Football. The other one, of course, was extended Monday night. We know the coronavirus and everything going on around those lines. It's been getting moved around. It's been working so far. I think every game has been played that was postponed except for the Titans-Steelers game. So it looks like that they did clean that up a little bit. Again, we think that they could have done it more perfectly. I'm sure there will be more issues as the season continues. But, Gavin, I do have to ask you first, do you still have confidence in this? Do you not have confidence, to say, in the season finishing, as you've said before, or at least not enter a bubble at some point during the regular season?
Well, Zach, I want to come out and say this. I'm still on the fence about it even finishing. We're not even in the cold and flu season. All right, Zach, we're not even in December or late November. All right, it's not even cold outside yet. Zach, it was 70 degrees yesterday. I don't know how in the hell it was. Zach, all right, it don't make no sense to me. It was 70 degrees, and this morning I wake up, it's 59. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be careful, all right? Weather change and the climate, that's no joke, all right? That gives people...
Take care of yourself, bundle up, eat healthy.
Take care of yourself. Wear a hoodie, 70 degrees outside.
My poor lettuce is starting to die in my garden, but I'm still trying to get as many colors as I can. That's one thing we don't promote enough, in my opinion, in the whole world is to promote eating healthy. Do your best to take care of yourself and help yourself, because that's what's most important.
At the end of the day, Zach, it is yourself at the end of the day. But going back to sports related, Zach, I'm still skeptical on this season finishing because you know why? There wasn't a great plan in place in training camp. And then you got in the season and look at the Tennessee Titans. They missed what, 2.5 weeks, almost 3. Then you had the Patriots and Broncos getting canceled. Zach, there's nothing I liked about so far that I've seen that makes me want to believe that the season can finish. I don't know. I mean, as a football fan, I want to see the season finish, but this is a full contact sport, ladies and gentlemen. A full contact sport. And baseball ran its course without contact. Zach,
That's the thing. They ran their course and there were no issues the rest of the year.
They ran their course. Everybody got smart. Magic City, the Marlins, excuse me, and the Casino Cardinals, they did their job by going and making an example. But Zach, there's no way this football season is going to finish. I give it a 50-50 chance.
All right, we'll see what happens. I still hold my confidence.
There will be a champion. There will be a champion, but it won't be in February.
I think they've been quick on their feet with it, but I mean, you're right. There will be outbreaks, and we'll see what happens. There have been in the MLB, both teams that were positive were proven to break protocol. In the NFL, it's been different. Obviously, the Titans. Now, the Titans didn't break protocol at first. What they say when they broke protocol, and by the way, there's going to be a fine for them, Gavin. I'm curious to get your thoughts on that in a minute. But at first, they had a few positive tests, Corey Davis, as well as a few other notables. And then they were suspended from operations. They didn't break protocol that we know of until they practiced together at a high school, which ultimately became a super spreader event. So for both the Titans and the Patriots, they were apparently in protocol when the initial COVID cases were caught. However, the Patriots only had 2 COVID cases. I mean, Cam Newton and Stephon Gilmore, no slouches, but they're both on the field. They're both looking better. Patriots had a tough week, but they'll bounce back. But you do have the Titans, though, who had a super spreader because they broke protocol. So the NFL has the right protocols according to that. But again, Gavin, the lack of buffer, the lack of padding is going to be an issue down the road. I don't think we're going to just have 17 weeks, but I do think confidently we can finish the season in teams' home stadiums.
Well, Zach, you talked about the fine or penalty. I'm interested to see what they're going to do, because if it was a cross team spread, then you're talking about harming others. It was just a team event. It's a team spread, which is no joke either. But I'm interested to see what NFL does. I mean, Roger Goodell, you're good at putting down the hammer sometimes, I guess. When you need to, you don't do it, but you do it when any time. Rob Manfred used to take notes. But going back to the scares, it's going to be scarce. All right, we're going to have these things. Zach, you're right. We're going to crown a champion. I just don't believe it's going to be February 4th.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. That will be, as of right now, planned to be in Tampa Bay, which will probably, honestly, depending on what we're looking at, they're allowed to have full fans. I doubt it's going to happen.
There might not be any fans to the Super Bowl, I think.
But yeah, there might be a possibility of fans being pulled back. We'll see what happens. But let's get to it. Bills and Chiefs, again, we got to that because that was pushed back because of the Titans incident. And the Titans had a really good win and another good win this week. The Bills, I'm not sure I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. Stephon Diggs looks good. Devin Singletary continues to struggle. Josh Allen is not looking good at all. What's going on with them?
Well, Zach, the first 4-week high, or as I like to call it, the Ryan Fitzpatrick effect, is wearing off. He got exposed. Josh Allen got exposed last week versus, and I forget the team they played, but he got exposed.
Tennessee, Tuesday night.
Tennessee versus Tuesday night. They came out and they just ran the ball for them. Josh Allen couldn't get anything going. So what happened? I thought, Zach, that, even though the Chiefs secondary isn't the best and near as a run defense, I thought, damn, this is going to be a good game. It was for a little bit, and then the Chiefs ran away with it. Literally, Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran away with the game. Going back to your initial question, what's wrong with the Bills? Zach, I think it's like what we said about the Cowboys. It was all swept under the rug when they were winning. You didn't overlook the fact of the real problems, Zach. The real problems is maybe Josh Allen isn't that dude as we always thought he was going to be. Maybe the Bills' defense isn't as elite as we were making them sound they were to be. Zach, Stephon Diggs is big time. All right, Stephon Diggs is big time. We're not going to ignore that. Devin Singletary, Singletary in the backfield of Moss, they needed Le'Veon Bell. Because
I was going to say that's who they should have looked at, honestly. And they were one of the top teams for him.
Look, they lost, and look, I like Singletary. I think he gets the job done, but when it comes to big moments and big games, it's not enough. It's not enough. But this is going to be. It's like this is not going to be one of those things where you look at it and it's like, all right, they lost 2 weeks in a row. That's it. They're going to be losing a lot.
Well, they play the Jets next week, so I think that's a good bounce back opportunity for them.
It's a good bounce back opportunity, but that doesn't mean anything if you can't beat the top tier teams. You beat the Rams barely, so a lucky pass interference call. You lose to the Tennessee Titans, badly, and you also lose. I don't want to say last night was bad, but excuse me,
they looked fine last night. I think that it's a hiccup. I think they're not going to be a conference championship team, but they can definitely make it to the divisional round. I think they can go 10-6, 11-5.
So who is the team to be in the AFC East? Patriots or Bills?
Chiefs. Or I'm sorry, not Chiefs. Bills. The Bills are still the team to beat. Them and possibly Miami. Don't sleep on Miami. They're only half game out of first place. They're sitting comfortably at 500 with an easier schedule coming up. Whether it's Fitzpatrick or Tua at the helm, Miami's got a great defense. Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. It's a shame that they keep Minka Fitzpatrick, but I mean they got some draft picks for him. They arguably have the best two corners in the league. I think you say Stephon Gilmore and I think Jones is on the other side, or even the McCourty twins in that secondary. But don't sleep with Miami. They got a great coach. Those guys play hard. And again, if Fitzpatrick starts to fade, you have a potential top 5 quarterback in the future in the making behind him, and Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, Zach, I'm always all for Tua. All right, tank for Tua was my go-to thing for them last year, and I'm a ride with Tua Tagovailoa.
And they tanked successfully. The Bengals are still over there having issues with AJ Green now, and now John Ross just say wants to get traded. Miami's fine.
Well, first of all, John Ross, and I had the chance to meet the guy, Zach. I have no problems with the guy personally, but
you seen that 2017 draft too?
He was.
Everyone
look.
What's the trend? Mitch Trubisky gets benched, and now John Ross wants to get traded. Who else did you meet so I can make sure I don't have him on fantasy?
Jamal Adams and Deshaun Watson, but we're good.
No, Jamal Adams got traded. Deshaun Watson.
Leonard Fournette was there too. Okay, we're good. Don't blame it on me. Derek Barnett was there, so maybe I might have ruined that. Corey Davis,
maybe.
Hey, but Zach,
Myles Garrett. You saw Myles Garrett too?
No, I don't think Myles Garrett was there. No.
He was the first overall pick that year, wasn't he?
I think so.
I think he went 1.
Dalvin Cook was there though.
He went 2. You didn't mean Patrick Mahomes?
No, Pat Mahomes was there. No, but Deshaun Watson was there. It was all cool. Got to shake.
Right. The Gavin. We're gonna call it the Gavin curse, by the way.
Okay, buddy. Okay, I can't wait for you to meet somebody, and I'm gonna call it the Zach Star curse. Maybe the Shambo.
I've met Lane Johnson, who's the best tackle in football. Alex Singleton, who had the pick 6 against the 49ers.
I met Pat Robinson, so I'm good. I'm 2 for 2 with Lane Johnson and Pat Robinson.
Who else? I don't even know who else I met.
Okay, Nelson Aguilar, that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
And Corey Clement, that's me as well. Okay, I'll take that.
All right, yeah. See, have you met what kind of NBA players have you met? You met Steph Curry, right?
Oh, whoa, don't talk about the GOAT like that. Wait a minute, don't talk about the GOAT like that.
All right, I know you don't think he's a
GOAT. I met Jaleel.
We're gonna keep you contained and not let you see anyone. You can meet if you want to meet some Dallas Cowboys or you want to meet some.
Listen, CeeDee Lamb and Zeke and Dak Prescott. I'd love to meet you guys. I mean, you guys aren't going to win anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah, that's true. That's because of their defense, though. But last night, let's get there. Actually, we're talking about that now. The Dallas Cowboys. It was an ugly game at home against the Cardinals. I mean, you didn't expect much. Leighton Vander Esch is back. The defense looked good early. And then Ezekiel Elliott, 2 fumbles. Remember, Jerry Jones decided to pay Zeke before Dak. And again, Gavin, you know my thoughts on that. Tony Pollard has looked good. You have a good rookie running back. I would call BS on Zeke's bluff last year when he was chilling in Cabo getting fat, and now he's got the feed me tattoo. He doesn't mean feed me the ball; he means feed me more food because he's like that. But no, Zeke's still a hell of a running back. Don't get me wrong. Not worth $90 million. Gavin, you know I have 2 stances very strongly on this. Elite running backs deserve money, but not money that hurts the cap. And Dak Prescott.
So what would you call Todd Gurley's contract from a couple of years ago before he
was balling out, but it was too high. Too much.
You think that was too high?
I'd give honestly, I would give a $90 million contract, but I would make the majority of that incentive based.
Okay.
That way you guarantee that you again, I'm more business oriented than player oriented, but I still respect the players. I'm going to try to see the best for my investment. And again, with Dak Prescott, I'll make sure I make this pretty clear. There are 3 tiers of pay for a quarterback. You have your game manager / team budgeters. You have your middleman, think of those Kirk Cousins contracts and things like that. And then you have your Patrick Mahomes level contract. Dak Prescott falls somewhere between the middleman and the Patrick Mahomes. He does not deserve top dollar. I'm sorry. I love him as a person. He's had a tough story in the past year for those who don't know about his family and some other situations that have happened with him. But and his injury, of course. But that doesn't change my mind. I still think he was worth $35 million, which is what he's getting paid this year, by the way. And if he gets franchise tagged next year, he'll average $35 million in 2 years. I don't see a problem with that. But I think he wanted a 4-year deal instead of a 5-year. You tell me you couldn't get that done? You saw it last night. Maybe Andy Dalton, skill-wise, is a little bit worse.
Andy Dalton last night, and sorry to cut you off, Zach. Andy Dalton looked like he was worth $5. That's how bad. You lost to a guy in Kyler Murray that only completed 9 passes. 9 passes, not huge passes, by the way, Zach. If I may put that out there, but 9 passes. He completed 9 of them. Meanwhile, Andy Dalton, the $5 man, threw 54 times and still lost. Go ahead, Zach.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't change my thoughts on Dak being paid. But if he wants a 4-year contract, give him a 4-year contract. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. While a guy is sitting in Cabo and there's another guy who's out there busting his behind to be playing and to put his body literally on the line. This doesn't change my stance on it. It solidifies it. I don't think Dak is worth anywhere near Patrick Mahomes' money.
Oh, hell.
I don't think Mahomes is worth Mahomes' money, honestly, with that talent that he has around him. And like I said before, and this is not to insult him. And again, he's hurt, and I feel for him. But remember, Dak Prescott, they were like, 2-3 before Amari Cooper got there. You didn't get Michael Gallup. You didn't get CeeDee Lamb this year. When the O-line was hurt, when Teron Smith was hurt last year, they lost to the Packers, the Saints, who didn't score a touchdown, by the way. They lost to Teddy Two Gloves. No disrespect to Teddy, but it was first game getting used to the system, and they didn't score a single touchdown. And you lose to the Jets, you lose to the Vikings, you lose to all these teams, and you have nothing but talent around you. Dak Prescott missed his window. Okay, Dak Prescott's nothing his rookie year without Ezekiel Elliott. Now, fast forward to today. What was proved last night? Nothing. But the guys play harder with Dak Prescott. That should be known. But he's not worth top dollar. But he sure as hell should have been paid before Ezekiel Elliott. And I think his agent and himself got themselves in their own way. He's a modest, humble kid who works his butt off. And the fact that they had an issue negotiating dollar amounts is disgusting, in my opinion. Disgusting on both halves, honestly. They're both at fault. If the years was the only issue, shame on Jerry Jones. Because he had no problem paying Zeke. And really, you're paying a guy who got last night $90 million for 2 fumbles. I could do that. I'll fumble for you. Here you go on a catch, put it behind my back, do a little fancy thing with it. All right, like ball security's been an issue for him this year. And Tony Pollard's better than Andy Dalton, right? Tony Pollard's a better backup than Andy Dalton is. So which one would you rather be paying your money to? All right, and if it takes the best line in the league, it takes Dez Bryant. It takes I don't know. I guess they Jason Witten that year, and a rookie Ezekiel Elliott to go 13-3 and go to the playoffs. They lost on a really great catch, frankly, on the sideline that Aaron Rodgers threw to Randall Cobb. But they surrounded Dak with nothing but talent, and I get Jerry Jones' feedback on this. But last night should have solidified that Dak should be paid. You know why? Gavin, what did we say before? Let's see if you can figure this out. What did we say before about Dak Prescott? What is the big difference about him? He's not perfect, but what's the big thing about Dak Prescott that we like in a franchise quarterback?
Just gets the job done. He's a yes man. And
he stays out of trouble.
He says, you know what? Is that?
Let me get suspended? No, that was Zeke. He got suspended.
Oh, wait a minute, Zach. Hold on. Let me go on this because it wasn't Ezekiel Elliott. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the hard subject. The whole Zach, you remember this one? The Ohio State allegation between him. That was a difficult one because nobody really knew. I'm not gonna really get on that one. Ezekiel Elliott got arrested. He was on a parade. Zach, it was what parade was it? It was a tiny parade. Anyway, he pulled a girl's shirt down. You can't do things like this. You've been a headache to every Cowboys fan, even Jerry Jones in the organization. If you, Zach, we always talk about role models, right? Who we always look up to. And if someone said I want to be just like Ezekiel Elliott, you better. And the first thing you better say is you better be on the field, because off the field he's not the best role model. If you want to talk about off the field or off the court, all right, let's look at Dak Prescott. Let's look at Carson Wentz. Let's look at a guy in Julio Jones who doesn't really get in much trouble. Let's look at LeBron James.
Let's look at Jaylen Brown.
And I'll take it even better too. You want to talk about a guy that really doesn't get in trouble? Let's talk about Kemba Walker too. He doesn't leave the house. That's why the bubble wasn't hard for him. Let's talk about Steph Curry. All right.
Steph Curry just likes to play golf.
Exactly.
We're Charles Barkley next month. Stay tuned.
I got Peyton Manning and stuff on that one. But you want to talk about good guys? Zeke Elliott. I'm no disrespect to Zeke whatsoever, because I like Ezekiel Elliott. But if my son told me, Gab, I want to be just like Ezekiel Elliott, I better be like, you better be on the field, because off the field I would not. I would have a problem.
I just want to clarify. You want your kids calling you Gab, or did you say Dad?
I just say Gab. Look.
All right. We'll save the footage for the.
I'm not worried about that at the moment in time, ladies and gentlemen. Not worried about that at the moment.
All right, coming up after this, we're going to continue the discussion, but we're going to get to the World Series, break it down. What are our expectations? Is playoff Clayton Kershaw going to be like playoff P or pandemic P? We'll get to that after this.
Ooh. We are now offering a new product on our Teespring. Wear a mask in public. We are now supporting a custom designed mask with our logo on it. Purchase it today, and 10% goes to a foundation of our viewers' choice. It offers a full nose and mouth coverage. Single-sided print, includes 2 2-inch elastic ear loops, non-medical grade product, and finally, $1 from every mask sale is donated to a nonprofit to feed children in need. Enjoy today's episode.
Gavin, you like that analogy, huh?
Pandemic P, the Clay. Wow, that's a little bit disrespectful.
If you're 6 runs in 1 inning, I mean,
not that bad.
I could do 6 runs in an inning. I have done that before. Also, I had 1, 2, 3 inning on 4 pitches, but we're not going to talk about my former baseball days.
I think we should one day. We should get into that one day. We should.
Oh, that'd be interesting. But
in
all seriousness, yes, the Tampa Bay Rays are in the World Series for the second time in franchise history. The first time, of course, losing to the Philadelphia Phillies in 2008. But they're back. Their offense is underrated. Their pitching is fantastic. And they're going up against nothing short of experience in the Los Angeles Dodgers, who just overcame a 3-1 deficit to one of the best offensive powerhouses in the league. Gavin, let me let you go first and get some of your thoughts.
Well, Zach, when I first think of this series, I think of guys first. I think of the guys that play for each team. I think of Charlie Morton, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, a favorite of the show. And I think of Randy Arozarena. Zach, where the hell did that come from? That guy's been on a tear this whole entire postseason. Have you seen him, Zach? Ladies and gentlemen, I was upset at myself a lot these past 2 weeks because I couldn't say his name right. Randy Arozarena, I got it now.
Can't ignore him now. Can't ignore him.
You can't. Put some respect on his name, damn it. It's right there. I give it to you. I think of Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger.
Mookie Betts has been on a tear, talking about stepping up when it matters.
The best player in baseball, Zach, and one day we want to get into that because I'm a firm believer this is the best player in baseball. And then you got guys and Justin Turner and Kershaw. Zach, the only real thing
Corey Seager, who had an absolutely amazing defensive series.
And how about Chris Taylor, too? Because no one likes to talk about Chris Taylor. He did, and Will Smith. Listen, Zach.
You were on the verge of firing their manager a few weeks ago. That might be changing real quick. We both were.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
We were both talking about if he might be the issue. We've been questioning it.
If they don't win this year, Zach, with the lineup they had, this is arguably as good as when they had Manny Machado.
We counted them out on Friday last week.
And
we counted them out. We said Braves. We said Braves Rays.
Well, did you think that the Braves were going to blow a 3-1 lead? It is an Atlanta thing. Sorry to watch.
It's an Atlanta thing. It's like 28-3.
Atlanta thing. But look, Zach, if the Dodgers don't get it done, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it says World Series predictions. I'm going with the Dodgers, Zach. I'm going with the Dodgers in 7 games, 7 or 6. If the Dodgers don't get it done this year and Dave Roberts is lose, when you have the better team, all right, the Rays weren't supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Yankees and it was supposed to be Dodgers. And some people were throwing the Astros in there because everybody wanted to see the Astros. I didn't want to see the Astros. Zach, did you want to see the Astros?
Yeah.
Okay, you did want to see the Astros.
I did want to see. I was the only one.
I wanted to see Braves and Rays too. But look, ladies and gentlemen, the Dodgers have the upper hand. The Dodgers have the upper hand.
Better team. They got more experience.
They got more experience, better team, but it all falls around Dave Roberts. And tonight, they're going to lose game 1 because Clayton Kershaw does not show up well. They use him for too long. They see, Zach. Here's one.
Only a 60-game season, though. We thought that'd be a benefit for him. We spoke about that when the original season was released.
Yeah, Zach, you're right. But here's the thing too. You ever heard this thing called like when you extend your stay for a little too long, like when you stay in this one spot for a little? That's what happens with Clayton Kershaw. They use him for a little too long, and then people start to pick up on him, and they start teeing off on him. Why do you think you call him Pandemic P? All right, Clayton Kershaw.
Paul George was not overused. Paul George was just off.
Well, no, okay. Paul George was not overused; he was off. But Zach, well, maybe a little bit rusty too. He didn't look well in the other day. But Zach, what I'm trying to say is this: Clayton Kershaw, you had to get him out there quickly. Now, I'm not talking about 4 innings, unless you can cheat off on him badly. Remember, this is a Rays team that goes by the long ball. That can get destroyed by the long ball. But Zach, I got to ask you, who you got winning tonight?
What's the matchup going? Blake Snell versus Clayton Kershaw?
It's Glasnow versus Kershaw.
Okay. It's gonna be like a 1-0, 2-1 game. I just don't know who I'm probably gonna have to go with Tampa. I think they're really rolling on the momentum of an exciting Game 7. And I think that the Dodgers are going to be tired for a game or at least be cut off. But I have to say I'm taking the Dodgers. I'm going to take the Dodgers in 6. But I do think the Rays put up a great fight. I think their pitching is really good. But I think that the offense for the Dodgers does at some point break through and knock down that wall. That's been so sturdy and so secure and consistent this year for the Tampa Bay Rays.
And can we just remember how Zach? I want to get into this right now if we got time to. The reason why I say Mookie Betts might be the best player in baseball, not even might be, is the best player in baseball. Before I was saying that, no disrespect to Mike Trout, because I wanted to put respect on Mike Trout's name with AL and NL. But damn it, Zach, I'm going to just come out and say, best player in baseball. He energized this team for 3 straight games with miraculous catches. Zach, talk about a ball that's about to the ground and you pick it up easily. How about another one where the ball's in the air and he makes a catch over his head? And then Game 7, he robs Freddie Freeman up.
That would have been a game tie. It was 4-3.
That would have been a game breaking it. That would have broke the tie, actually, ladies and gentlemen. That would have broke the tie, Zach. Mookie Betts has energized his team. Now he might not have any home runs in the postseason, but in the postseason, it's not about the long ball. That's the one thing about the Rays that I don't like is they don't score well without the long ball. As you saw, Zach, if they hit home runs, they win. They got to have contact. It's the same problem with the Yankees. But Mookie Betts was there day in and day out doing his job. Best player in baseball. I don't care what anybody says. There's no debating that.
For sure, we'll continue with the coverage with that tomorrow. Game 2 is tomorrow night. There will be 4 games in 5 days. A break on Thursday, which is when the Eagles and the Giants will be playing on Thursday Night Football. We'll go over that on Thursday. Possibly do a pregame show for that. That might be a good opportunity to get one done here in the week. We'll discuss that and figure out what we can provide to the viewers. But other than that, yeah, there's just a lot going on right now. A lot, mostly NFL, MLB wrapping up their seasons. But Bubbles are almost 3-0. The 4-0 if you include the WNBA success that they had in the Orlando bubble as well. We could be looking at potentially 4-0 with the MLB. So it might be something that the NFL is going to look into for the playoffs.
Well, they need to look into something, but we know Roger Goodell won't do that. Don't got to worry about that. We're going to be traveling to other stadiums. We're going to have the same problems, COVID tests, all this fun stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Roger Goodell for you. Roger Goodell and Rob Manfred are arguing with the 2 worst commissioners in all of sports. And I don't even know who the MLS commissioner is or the NASCAR.
They had a bubble, too. They'd be 5-0.
Oh, they did. They did. That's right. They did. And they started the season back up early as well. And they're doing fine. And they're at home. And they're having fans. I wonder where that happened. Oh, wait. That's right. Because you guys in the bubble and you saw what happened. But, Zach, real quick before we go, I got to ask you this. Did you see Kyler Murray last night? I know it's going back. But
I saw his legs, not his arm.
But do you think Kyler Murray can slide into the MVP conversation?
He's got to be able to throw. He missed way too many open passes last night. His leg saved him, which is great. But he can. If you ask me the short answer, yes. Right now, it's undoubtedly Russell Wilson. I don't think anyone's really in his way. If Rodgers has a bounce back week, maybe. Josh Allen's falling out.
I think Rodgers last week that kind of hurt him for a little while.
If there is going to be a top 3, then I would put Kyler at 3 after maybe one more good performance from him because they're 4-2 right now.
What about Tannehill?
No.
Could you?
I like Ryan Tannehill a lot as my fantasy quarterback, but
you
not yet.
You don't think so?
Another good performance, and he's in the conversation.
I mean,
It's
okay,
unanimous.
next week's gonna be a real big test. You got Pittsburgh.
And possibly Derek Carr could be sneaking up there too.
Do you think so? I don't think so.
It's a 10. If I had to pick my current dark horse, it's Derek Carr. Drew Lock did win last week, though. I do have to say. Drew Lock, he had a terrible game. So don't confuse my words. But in Drew Lock's first game back, he wins. The Detroit Lions won, and the Green Bay Packers had a bad game.
But ladies and gentlemen, guess what, Zach?
If last week was a replication of the entire season, my predictions will be spot on this year.
Well, Zach, guess what? You did say the Detroit Lions will be in first place, and they're in third.
They're in third. They're on the way up.
They're not going to go up.
They're 2-0 with Kenny Galladay back.
Okay. Well, and the reason why I bring up the Kyler Murray question is that's the way the game is going to be start being played is running quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, maybe. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is ready. That's not.
Jalen Hurts is not ready. I love him to keep playing, keep getting involved, but
do you see the trend? That's the new trend now.
Carson Wentz had a 40-yard run the other day.
I'm just saying.
Do you think Carson Wentz is part of that group, or you think he's part of the more? He's not like a pocket passer.
If this is 2017, yes.
He didn't look like it the other day, do you?
I'm not saying he's getting back to it, but I'm saying 2017 he was doing things that we haven't seen, like he was going to do, get out the pocket, run, all these things. Zach, we haven't seen that for a while. He's just getting back to it.
Yeah, I hope he sticks with it because that's what he does best.
That's his dual threat, yeah.
With that being said, Wade, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow, probably same time. We'll keep checking in and see if we can
maybe
get an
hour tomorrow because we have that time.
Yeah, possibly. I'll have to figure out. We'll talk with each other and stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're getting a little more active on there again. We posted some interesting stuff today. Gavin, you're overdue for a hot take that I got to post on there. Rile up some more people so we can.
Here, I got you, ladies and gentlemen. My hot take for today is that LeBron James is not even top 3. Not even top 3. And Zach said that the Lakers could beat the Bulls from the 90s. There's no way in hell.
That was just a joke. That was a joke to see if I'd get
okay,
it.
I hope you were joking.
I know you burned some steam on that before you confronted me about it.
I had to. It got me over there punching the air because I hope you were joking.
All right, good. Mission accomplished.
LeBron James is not even top 3. Maybe, and if you want me to not be biased, he's not top 2. He's not top 2.
You got Giannis and KD above him.
Oh, I'm talking about all. I was talking about all time. No. Giannis.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, all right. Before we go there, let me ask you another question. Then, where would you rank Steph Curry then, as when it comes to shooting, not all around? Because think about it.
Shooter.
Also, Steph Curry also did change the game too. So you also got
best shooter. Yeah, best shooter of all time. Him, Ray Allen,
number 1. Number 1, right?
Number 1.
Number 1. Where would Klay Thompson be?
Top 7.
Top 7?
Top 6.
Top 6?
You got to put Ray Allen above him and a couple other guys. I mean, in mid-range. I mean, there were a lot of guys that were mid-range. You think of Kobe Bryant, you think of Michael Jordan. They were shooters, but they weren't beyond the arc.
They were mid-range killers.
But they were shooters. They were good shooters as well. So it's definitely difficult. But Klay Thompson, top 7. I mean, I think that a couple other guys from the 90s I'd put above him. Not really anyone else in the 2000s that I put above.
I want to say this. I want to say this, Zach, and then we should end the show on this. Steph Curry is top 10 all time, and I'll get into that tomorrow. Why?
All right, thank you for joining us today on the More Than Philly Sports Talk Show. Can't sleep on the Warriors draft coming up.
That's right, Justin. That's right. Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it. With that being said, we'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned for times. Have a good one, everybody.
Wow. Have a good one, everybody.
There you go.
If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. In addition, hit that bell icon and set it to all to get reminded of when we go